That ink starts to itch like on Tangerine. I was born in the soul of misery, and I never had me a name. They just give me a number when I was young. Got along heartache, carry it well.
Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2412. I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2412. I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go, links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel, support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. Right. Yeah, weather today is a bit calmer. The wind is like really died down mostly. Just kind of nice. It's not so restless. Big gray soup up there, though it's not really moving around a lot. I have no idea if there's like trails or anything. Could be. But I'm not seeing any blue sky, so I can't tell. Right. Yeah, it's not been raining or anything, so it's kind of dry. But it is cold outside though. Or at least I think it's cold. It's not that cold, but I think, yeah. Because I'm still adjusting to the end of the summer. Ugh. Right, so it is Friday, the 26th of September 2025. Temperature is 14 degrees Celsius with 65% humidity, 13 kilometers an hour wind, 10% precipitation, so there's some rain out there. Yeah, it's gonna be this weather for another straight week. Slightly warmer on Sunday, 19 degrees, but yeah, 14. Yeah, it is kind of low. It's not super cold, but I mean it's definitely not warm. So yeah, I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I'm doing okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little nervous because the landlord wants to install a new smart meter in the electric system, and I like really don't want that, because then there would be like this pulsing thing pretty much right under my bed, and like, yeah, so I objected to that and did look into it a bit. There's ways where you can like turn it off or something, so, and they're only responding to this top-down mandate because apparently you have to upgrade. You can't have the old system anymore. It's just the bureaucracy trying to force it on you. But I mean, if like the building is like now there's smart meters in this building, then that would explain certain phenomenon that I've noticed. I didn't realize that. But yeah, there could be several smart meters in the building. And I mean, those things are so aggressive, they when they start pulsing, you like I can feel it. So perhaps it's that, I don't know, but there's like a phase at night. I think it's like between 3 and 5, where things just start buzzing, and I'm like, I can hear it, and it's very, can't really pinpoint where it's coming from, but it keeps happening, and it's disturbing when you try to go to sleep, especially if you have a little bit of a restless mind, not super knackered. Then it's like really disruptive. So I don't know what that is, but maybe it's the smart meters, I don't know. Ugh. I mean, that's been happening for a while though. How long? At least several years. Right. Anyway, that's the situation that's going on, and like a little worried about it, because I mean, if I suddenly, yeah, I don't know, maybe I have to like get like an aluminum mat underneath my bed or something. That might potentially help. Like even now, without a smart meter right now beneath me, to just kind of shield me off of like all the rest of the building. I've been thinking about that. Like, might have to look into it. It could take a while. But I mean, if I could get like a mat to put underneath my bed, like that could really be very helpful for my peace of mind at night. But I'd have to get it somewhere, and I don't know. Of course, I don't have a lot of money to expend on that sort of thing. On anything. Right. What's been going on? Hey, what? What the? Oh. Oh, Benjamin is doing a stream? What the hell? It's the middle of the night stream? Maybe it's just playing it. When Owen Benjamin got on the Joe Rogan Experience, so this is probably like a restream. And there's no comments in there either. Huh. Anyway, yeah, the stream yesterday was interesting. Owen's pretty inspired recently, so I don't know, maybe I've been inspired too. I just don't feel too great. Just got this feeling like I want everything to leave me alone. But it's not gonna, the world's not gonna. Just have to deal with it. Right. Yeah, I thought my show was subject-wise was kind of interesting. And there's like, oh god, yesterday Alex Jones, he had a shaving accident, and he's had a Hitler mustache, and it was hilarious. And I don't know if that was really real. He shaved it off like somewhere halfway. But it was kind of a shame because it actually looked really good on it. And it didn't like, even give like, oh, he's Hitler now. No, it's just like, oh, that's like this old style, and it just looked like it really suited him. It was like surprising and funny. I'm like, oh, he should like actually keep it. It looked really good in it. Like with me, it would not look good at all. It would just look ridiculous. But for him, it's like, yeah, he has like the head for it. And it makes him look like kind of really different too. But it looks good on him. So that was like a funny surprise. But yeah, it was all about Hitler history, the tactics, and so I guess I was all in the theme of the day yesterday. Because I was like making it about fascism, communism, so I was also talking about all that. It's just really funny, like I just decided to do a theme and then like everything adapts to it. Like that's what my days feel like, and it's really strange. I'm not claiming it that's literal. It does kind of make you sound crazy, but it does stand out. That does tend to happen a lot. Right. Right, I'm not saying that people like copy from me, but I might be just like tuning into that frequency on which those decisions are based or something. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's all mysterious and ethereal. I don't know. Maybe that's also why I like tuning into Quantum of Conscious, because he's always talking about ethereal, the ethereal stuff, and like the not milk and the devil as a force, a spiritual force that influences people, that makes them decide differently, right? Not just the structure that people like take from, but also just timed suggestive things and all that. Like there might be like a very strange influence that if you're in the flow, just doing whatever, extra dimensional forces can meddle with you depending on what you're open for to receive. And people that are into social engineering, mind control, media, they might be tapped into like this program of influence, because that's what they're seeking. Seek and you shall receive, you shall find, kind of thing. Spiritual ethereal. So yeah, I am always like puzzled by synchronicities, because to me it's, you can't just say, oh look, a synchronicity, and that means something by itself, or like what does it mean? No, I want to kind of like know like how is that happening? What are the guiding systems that makes that happen? Because you can't just keep ascribing it to a coincidence. I mean, some things you would have to, but when there's like repeating patterns, at some point it's like, no, just saying coincidence, it's not sufficient. No, it's ZR time. Right. Right, but yeah, I'm also thinking back to like some of the positions and things that I've said about Hitler on my shows and ideas that I've had. But lesbian double Hitler and all that. And in a way, like I try to like be not exclusively demonizing about the whole. It's really about the boogeyman propaganda. It's been so aggravated, and it becomes so vacated of realism and content that for me it's just like I just want people to understand that there was another side to it too. And it does feel like, to me, like Hitler was... It didn't start out like as a really bad thing necessarily, but it turned really dark, and like principles were thrown overboard. Like good winning high ground principles, which it did start out with, were then basically thrown overboard in favor of just pure power, pure autocracy, and like then also lying for that and all that, and basically all the typical Marxist demonic influences. Like that did really happen, but it wasn't like that from the start, I believe. It's like they were just doing things systemically and well, and then eventually, like it, I don't know, it just got seduced to take absolute power, basically. Right. But yeah, it is undeniable though that in the end it was like a real just a nasty mindset with like rampant deception and just disregard for human life and even care for the German people in the end, right? Like that, yeah, it did go that far, and it ended up really sour. But it didn't necessarily start out like that, and that's why I like to compare like Hitler's story arc kind of to like Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader's. It's not exactly the same, but it's like because of the prequels, there is like this humanized side where you can empathize and where he does actually seem to be wanting to do the right thing and all that, and is kind of a noble warrior and in ways maybe even better than the Jedi. Like you can actually understand his case, Anakin Skywalker in the prequels, right? And that's, I think it's just more realistic to think of Hitler as that. Instead of just like, oh, he was always like this broody, angry little man and just wanted to mind control everybody all the time, and he had just fooled everybody with like psychopathic lies, masking to be Christian completely without any genuine and actually meaning it in the slightest, right? Because that's how people think of it. It's just all lies. But I don't think so. I think it started out as actually trying to be real with it. And then it just turned sour and all the principles were thrown overboard and just in favor of gaining absolute power. And it's really tragic. It must have been extremely shocking when it started to dawn on people. But they did like keep continuing the same propaganda like nothing had happened though, and that is like a form of gaslighting, and that then caused massive cognitive dissonance with a lot of people. because they were really dark at that point and lying and just demons pretending to be better than what they were, practically, while still pretending to be that good, noble empire, like a king, like still having that pretense, even though, yeah, not with the actions though, no longer real, no longer honest. Terrible. But I'm pretty sure it didn't start out like that. It didn't start out like this is always a deception. We just gotta fool them long enough to get power. I don't think it, because you can tell with people. And he, like Hitler, did actually live through a lot. Through war. A lot. Very brave, crazy brave. And so it's like, yeah, it just wouldn't make any sense if he was always a conniving deceiver, right? I mean, just look at people now, the New World Order and the European commissars and all that. Like, these people have no shred of nobility or like actual decency socially. Like, they didn't have like a life like Hitler did, where they actually fought and struggled and suffered for any kind of goal other than their own greed. So, and it's just noticeable, and like they can't, like these people can't act to be noble because they just don't have it. They don't have it in them. They can't resonate with that because they're so in opposition of that internally. Right? And that's why it's different. This is like corruption boiling up from a swamp and just being a giant nuisance and trying to manipulate everybody. But Hitler was not that. He was actually like a noble warrior in a way, really wanting genuine reform, and the people wanted it, and it did a lot of good at first. And then suddenly he just got basically greedy, seduced by Lucifer. Like, we gotta take this further. And he shouldn't have. Right? But on the other hand, I mean, there was basically the Bolsheviks right at their doorstep, so... But still, to then just overthrow the principles and basically get on the same level just to meet that power clash, it's just crazy. And then that's, well, yeah, I mean, the full implications of how it all happened, of course, I can't just say like, oh, I would have done it differently. I mean, maybe you couldn't. But it's still a terrible decision to go there. And to throw overboard just the truth in favor of power. Like, it's disrespectful to the people as well. Just everything, you know how it is. Anyway, some thought about it from Arwin. Because, I mean, I'm just sick of hearing the standard boogeyman social attack, like, you're Hitler and all. It's so tedious. It's so tedious to me. It's so dumb, dumbed down, cartoonish. And like, no, there's way more to the story than that. You can't just oversimplify things. You just don't understand it. Right. Anyhow. I already did items about this. Oh, Steve Smith. But yeah, it is a subject, and so it's got to be talked about, I feel. There's a lot of fear of Hitler, and that it needs to be talked about and understood. Like, what actually was that? And to really realize that it wasn't always, it wasn't always lying. He just changed his mind and corrupted, which is an extremely spiritually tragic event when that happens, with dire consequences. But unfortunately, it does happen. Remember that time I was lying about? Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it. But yeah, I mean, Steve Smith, yeah, depending on the details, yeah, some grandparents have been lying about what they experienced. That's right. Yeah, it happens, unfortunately. And they might even think they're doing it for a greater good or whatever. And at some point, they might even believe it. Because they make it real. And they've been green lighted top down to do that through a plan, and then they just reimagine it. That's happened. I am going to talk about it? No, other than that specifically addressing what you said, I'm not going to talk about that. Nope, I don't want to like hash out the hurt and all your little pain points so that you can feel a victim again. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. That's exactly the problem I have with the whole damn thing. This endless victim bullshit. Because it is bullshit. Especially in the end, a lot of people died. And like chaotically so. Rushed. So I really can't tell what happened. I just know that official narratives are blatant, provable, and statistically impossible lies. And that people were told to tell a certain story. Stick with the narrative. And heavily encouraged to do so, maybe even under threat. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't know about the specificities of your grandfather's story, nor do I care, because you're only here just to become a victim by my words, to let my words hurt you, right? Because of my outrageous opinions. Yeah, that's what you're here for. Yeah? Don't deny it. You know it's true. I'm not playing that game with you. Yeah. I'm not interested in your masochist games. Who told your grandfather? I don't know. Let's just say roughly the Mossad. The Secret Services. Right? Like, it's your duty to say this. And it's not even that difficult to do that on a vast scale. Yeah. Okay, Steve Smith. Hey, I could just ban you. Hey, I could just ban you. Is that what you want? You were not gonna talk about it. Now you're talking about it. Yeah, because you're rambling on about it in the chat. And I'm addressing that that's happening. Yeah, I'm not gonna roll my talk into typical bad grounds, heavy flag, heavy trigger, bad grounds, and breaking potential speech laws, which is like asinine that even exists, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not gonna be lured into that shit. Okay? It did not exist. Yeah, well, something existed. Yeah, I mean, it might not be official, but people were conspiring, people were programming. Yeah. I even remember like a story from my grandmother that she had like a visit like after the war and was told to stick with this story, like the official story. And she was like surprised because she's like not politically interested at all. Like, I remember that. Quite the show. Hello, Brenda. What are you talking about? What show? Where? You believe me? Okay. Good for you. Hope that puts your little easily triggered heart at ease. I have a reflexive non-acceptance of the narrative. No. Not necessarily. I mean, I do with rollout of modern things, but I am not really like... That's a very polarized statement that you're making. Where you're basically trying to insinuate that they automatically choose a position within a polarized option, and I don't. I specifically stick to quantum superpositions, typically. Am I still a national socialist? Oh, really? I am a national... What the fuck are you talking about right now? I'm not a socialist by like Marxist standards. I do believe I couldn't even like really define it, my political position anymore, because all these categories are all like kind of old. I do like nationalism, and I do like very basic socialism as like just standard policy. But I mean, it has problems, and especially like it always encourages bigger government and then more and more, and like that's a problem. But as just a standard blanket, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's not a fucking crossbow, Steve Smith. Don't be an asshole. It's a snarky bullshit, dude. This is the shit why I ban people, dude. I'm not gonna deal with that snarky bullshit. Yeah? You are fucking easily triggerable, yeah? And you think you're really justified about it too, yeah? Cause your grandpa and all that shit from like a long fucking time ago, yeah? You are. Be honest about it. You're making a hassle of it, you're bringing it in the chat because of that. Yeah? Just be freaking honest about it. Yeah? It's a really bad habit to do that. Go to people and like, oh, you don't believe that this thing in the past? Oh, that really will hurt me, and oh, I'll get really angry and I'm gonna try to ruin your life. I mean, you think that's a good thing? That you do that? It's exclusively negative. Now, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to figure out reality. Get honest about it. Can bake. Effie, hello. 369 keeps showing up everywhere. Huh, interesting. What do I like most about nationalism? Well, what I like most about nationalism is that it actually retains, it sees people as important. Like, it's about the nation, it's about the people, and like family values. There's a lot of good things about nationalism. It opposes like dilapidation and degeneracy. It protects the nation from the outside, cultural or militarily. Like, that's great. I like that. Shifts. You lie? Just what? Okay. Resonance wave temperature shift. What? Okay. Welcome maker. Weird. Oh, I got really triggered because you mentioned no, you're just you're doing it on purpose. Hey, I'm not bringing up Hitler because, well, there's this guy online who always pops up every time I bring that up just so he could like get really hurt over it, yeah? Oh, you come to me. You bring that up because you know it irritates me. No, there's this guy called Steve Smith who gets really hurt over that. Yeah? You come to me. That's you doing that. Yeah, I'm not forcing myself in your space to trigger you with the subject. You come to me. Let's just put this entire line on. Japanese culture is great too. Anime, God. It's actually the least good part of Japanese culture. Their actual culture is actually really nice and homogeneous and respectful. The anime is actually kind of deranged. A lot of it. It's infamous for that. So I have Persian culture. What are you talking about? Where are you getting that from? How the hell do I have Persian culture in my heritage? What a strange thing to say. I do not. Oh. Herb Jackson? Hello? Long time listener? Oh. Alright. Hope you like the shows. I'm not always super impressed by it, but I mean, if you guys still think it's worth it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for saying hello. Jesus Christ, no. Gross. Ever. No, Brandon, where the hell are you getting this from? This is ridiculous. No. My family is not from Iran. Or anywhere near the Middle East. I'm a Eurasian from the Far East. And from Western Europe. Yeah, I've the Chinese, Indonesian heritage. A little. The rest is all like German, Dutch, Belgium. Not Iran. Where the hell are you getting that from? I mean, maybe I kind of look like an Iranian, especially with the mustache or something, or some people think I look like a Cuban. Fine. I look like that? Sure, but I'm not from Cuba and I'm not from Iran. Your wife doesn't like the truth? That sucks. Yeah. That's complicated when when you have a wife that's really not into that. She always gotta like negotiate to get ideas through then. Look, Israeli? Really? This is what an Israeli looks like? Seriously? The fuck? Although, I mean, an Israeli, that could mean anything racially. There's like people from all over the world there, apparently. But I mean, I don't look like a Ashkenazi, and I don't look like a Sephardic. Maybe a little bit, but not really. They do have like very distinct features that I do not. So I don't know why you say that. I look like an Israeli. Very strange to hear that. Yeah, we can bake a fee. I mean, yeah, that's the life of a truther. I mean, especially in the beginning, because being a truth researcher is not just about being informed, it's also about how you're going to communicate it. Because that's the most difficult part, is that people are not ready to hear the truth. They're still dependent on the apparent stability of the narratives that are handed to them. They don't want to be concerned about it. They don't want to have any attention for the input. They just want to take it and accept it. And we continually question that process, and that's like disruptive. Like it wakes them up, kind of forces them to deal with it, and they don't want to, and then they will resist. That's just how it works. Right? The life of any real truther is lonely. What the fuck are you talking about? I used to be curly? No, I was never curly. I've always had this type of hair. My dad's kind of curly. I've never been that. My dad, like, yeah, almost like thick African-like hair that would do that. I did not. I got like my mother's hair in that sense. Although it is darker than my mother's, but yeah, I didn't get the thick type of hair that my dad did. You weren't trying to trigger me, are you? To prove that I'm the triggered one again, Steve Smith? You weren't actually really thinking that was going to trigger me, right? Oh, yes, oh. Yeah. Hey, Steve Smith. Do it again, I'll fucking kick you out. Yeah, I'm not playing these fucking games with you. Yeah, I've been very cordial here. I'm not gonna go and have this frickin' back and forth bullshit with you. Yeah? Stop playing these games or get the fuck out of my chat. You irritating asshole. Yeah? You're out of here. Not playing these games with you. Yeah. Welcome back. Indeed. System talking through them, or it's like the agents in the Matrix coming through and protecting the stability. And it does kind of work like that. Indeed. Do I see the Grecians map as a... No, it's not solid. It's not of a consistent scale. There's scale inconsistencies in the map. It's just another map projection. They're all map projections. Hope everybody's having a good day. I am now. I had to kick out that guy because he was literally just trying to trigger me. Yeah, that's unacceptable. Now, if you do it on purpose, you're being a troll, and you didn't need to do that. What? Oh, the map, right. Is there a way to build a map? Yes, there is, absolutely. But you gotta just basically scan the place and with ocean bottom and everything, and like really orient the terrain. But yes, an actual Euclidean model could be made, right? And then truly figure out what the whole celestial orientations really are. Because there might be non-linearities with how the celestials even work in relation to the land. There's just almost no way to tell. It would just be seen as an aberration, and in favor of having just a solid, cohesive model, it would be ignored, right? So yeah, the only way to overcome that is to really measure the land very exactly, and then put it all together like a puzzle, like irrespective of whatever celestial behavior there is. And that's then you have a model of the terrain based on the actual measurement. A ball map. That's hilarious. Well, celestial navigators would have a celestial sphere, though. Like a map of the stars to assist them in like figuring out like what latitude they are and all that. So you have the flat map and the celestial sphere, and then you can navigate. Oh, not this optical garbage. What? No, but physically measure. If you're gonna scan it, that is as physical as you can get. Like that's actually how you like 3D scanning things, right? You get it exact. Ancient tried something like no, like dude. The lost attack? I don't know why you would say lost attacker data. It's not lost to them, it's lost to us. It might be there in the Vatican Library. It's always an easy go-to with that sort of thing. Like, yeah, maybe there are like the ancient Tartarian maps. Oh, that triggers people too. I'm just gonna call it Tartarian. The pre-current batch civilization from, let's say, the late 1500s. Worldwide civilization, lots of population. Yeah, they definitely had the map data. They had maps. They had it down accurately. They designed, yeah, the old world. To us now, the old world, they would have had an old world themselves, which is like the pyramids and all that. That would have been the old world to Tartaria. Like, it's not like 500 years ago everything was built. No, it's not just one moment where all of this stuff was getting built. It's phases. But I think that most of the neoclassicist style monolithic buildings and all that, that was like the Tartarian phase. That's the last. Yeah, that's 500 years ago. That's around those times, and who knows how much time up to that point. How long it really took to build all of it, I'm not sure, because it's all scrapped. The data of that. Hey, gaining wisdom, good to see you. In the Rumble chat. Pre-gaslit? What? Oh, pre-gas lighting. Okay. built it in a weekend? No. No. No, that's out of the question. Not without some really strange magic, like actual energy magic or whatever. Like, no. Giants existed too? Well, I mean, 500 years ago, it was not like there were titans around still. But there were arguably still some remnants of larger humans around. But I mean, they were already declining in amount. Yeah, poured, not carved. Yeah, that's right. Welcome back up. Effie. It's geopolymer casting. Yeah, that was definitely a part of masonry, of the processes. But even then, I mean, there's just sheer amount of neoclassicist buildings and how large they were, but just the amount of it, like, it doesn't matter how efficient you get, like, it's so much that just requires an abundant amount of time. Could it not just all been simultaneously put there? So there's a history that's building up to it, and that history is gone for us. It's not there anymore. It was hidden. Right, because it doesn't matter like what kind of technology you have. It's not going to be a technology that just literally conjures and manifests in a full gigantic stone building in like an hour. Like that's just not going to happen. It's just not feasible, and definitely not on a gigantic scale. Or just one after the other. Like, no. No, God. Oh, doctor is here to point out how it's all wrong. Anything that wasn't made of rock is gone in 100 years. Without maintenance, yes. Yeah, that's an interesting way to describe it. Somebody hit forward on history and left. It does really feel like it. Just quoting you, yeah, the history of the actual Tartaria and how these buildings were built, the records of all that. Yeah, that's right. Those are gone. There's now only nonsense stories. How they're being built in 2 years, alongside tons of other buildings that supposedly are built in 2 years, all pretty much around the same time, and it's total nonsense. Nobody's buying it. But that couldn't be done now. Especially not in a time where there's no technology available. horse and carriage. It's just no, doctor, give up. Leave it. Yeah, that history is not feasible. Hey, it's a bit of sun coming out, that's nice. It's dropped. It's not a construction project at all, it's a founding. Just, oh, look, I'm building this building. Now it's mine. It's just sitting there and they basically just dust it off and minor maintenance. And that's it. Maybe some modifications to personalize it, engrave their name in some parts, right? That sort of shit. But I catch myself dwelling a lot on the idea of like what would it been like Tartar in the last phase, what really happened. There's so much mystery to it right now. It really puzzles me, and like the potential of dark things or supernatural things are like very compelling. It just feels like there's something that was really unnatural in ways that happened. How many landmarks are just reskins? Yeah, a lot of them. Walkenbaker. Arguably most of it. This guy typing so much? Oh, maybe it's just inspired. I mean, I like it. It's good to have some actual conversation in the chat about subjects and not just, oh, what's your life, Arwin? Every detail. We want to know every detail. No, actually subjects. Alright, anyway, I gotta take a 2-minute break. Don't go anywhere. Definitely don't. Let's pick this back up when I get back. Don't forget to Rogan's it up. Yo, I'm back. You hate the trolls? Yeah, Herb Jackson. I'm glad to have some normal people in the chat. I don't exactly know you guys, but I mean, at least what you're talking about, stuff that actually pertains to the subjects of the talk, of the show. So that's good enough for me. Hope you come by more often. I'm always ready to have a back and forth with people in the chat if they're actually talking about subjects that I like to talk about. Especially things like Tartaria, because it's complicated and it requires more attention. I require other people to think with me to help find inspiration to figure it out more thoroughly. It's a work in progress. Yeah. Crazy how once you start seeing the patterns you can't unsee them. Yes. Unless you apply cognitive dissonance to yourself and just say, no! No, the history is right. Tartaria is nonsense. Oh, they made an error here, so that delegitimizes the whole concept. That's what people do then. I've seen it quite a few times. There's like anti-Tartarians as there are anti-flat earthers. There's not as many of them, and a lot of them are actually flat earthers that are anti-Tartarians, but it is a thing. And it's more abundant than I had hoped it would become. There's a lot of people that are like that. A lot to break down. Yeah, tons. I mean, we're dealing with an event that's not even been mythologized. It's literally like cut out and overwritten pretty dramatically. Especially on stew. What? STU? What do you mean? But yeah, glad you're enjoying it. Do you like hang around Discord and stuff too? Wake and Baker? Big Effie? I don't know, maybe if you want, you could even like be in voice on the show sometime. if you're comfortable with that. I mean, maybe you don't want to be on screen or in voice. You want to keep it chat, that's fine. Hit enter really by mistake? Yeah, don't worry. Oh, stuff like right. Yeah. Right, but yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that once you start to zoom in on one piece that like so much shows up. That's not surprising because, I mean, it's basically the writing out of a gigantic building history and culture and how it all developed and the things that all happened to them in their history and how they deal with it. Like a giant culture. It's just that really spanned very wide. Arguably the world's just been completely gone, but yeah, naturally when you find a piece of a puzzle, it's gonna show at all the other things that are logically going to surround it but are hard to find. Yeah, because it's a colossal thing that's been removed from the story. Don't really like to be in voice. Okay, fair enough. Right, if you want to talk to me and want me to be able to rely on you though a bit more, that I can actually trust that you're a real person, well, you sound like one of those four, I'd ask you to contact me on Microsoft Teams so that not recorded we could like have a conversation. I could see you and then I know who you are, and then yeah, that would be great. Then we could become friends on the long run. Don't expect you to always be here or anything, but because I'm always looking for people to brainstorm with, to reflect my ideas upon, and then actually respond to them instead of just ignoring it and bringing up other things, which a lot of people, a lot of trolls seem to do, and it's disappointing because I like brainstorming, but it can be difficult to find people that are ready to actually do that. Right, anyhow, it's good to have you here in the chat. I really appreciate that. Better than yesterday. Yesterday was lots of trolls. And to me it's like hilarious but still irritating that they think that they can just sneak in again. I mean, these people are so demonic. It's literally like goblins are putting on a human costume and just like, we're real people. Like, no, you're obviously goblins. Like, it's ridiculous that you think that works. That I can't see it. Just because you're so freaking dumb that it would work on you doesn't mean that it would work on me. That's really what it's like. Right. Right. So yeah, rewind 999. Why do you think Tartaria disappeared from modern history books? Well, there was a good reason for it. But it's a mystery though. It seemed to have been written out in favor of the new reality. It must have been decided upon that after the disaster that erased that world, and once enough people built back up, there was this notion, which is, you could say, is like in a way even like sort of Marxist in origin, where it's like, okay, well, that old world's gone. We're gonna write it based on us, those who are left. And that they can like create backstories basically for their own ancestors, make their own mythologies, have like national mythologies. And that they started doing that before they even like really figured out everything about the old world in Tartaria. And that it's just like, okay, in favor of the national propaganda, you could call it, the backstory. Probably started with the nobility doing that. And the national mythologies, that is just like, okay, we're gonna keep holding on to this story. That's like how the official narrative for the official history basically was born. It's like, this is the new history. This is what everybody gets to learn. This is what is going to be used for quotes, what's going to be used in reference in law by judges. So it's like the new culture, the new knowledge tree. And the old world, which was probably way too vast to really grasp anyway, everything that was in it, just was kind of like abandoned. Like, oh, we're just gonna move to the newer story. Forget about the old world. It's all gone anyway. And then eventually, to really keep people suspended into it, it would have to be like more thoroughly removed. Like, okay, so all the books that still have references to Old Tartaria, they gotta go. And religion's gotta be basically scrutinized. So Jesuits go around all over the world to basically check on all religions and their writings to see if there's Tartarian references or in any way, and then to cut those out of it. And any flat earth references remaining also, as much as possible, unless it's like really surreal and kind of easily to ridicule, like old turtles all the way down, which is hard to take serious. And that's the modern story. That's secular. That's like secular history. Modernism. God, that is an excellent analysis there, Welcome Big Effie. Thank you for that. That's a really good point. History as propaganda rather than memory. Tartaria was that vast, losing it would force survivors to build a story they could manage. Almost like cultural amnesia. Exactly. It's like they have to like pass on stories again around the campfire. Right? Instead of having libraries available, you have to start over again. In the mud, arguably. And then it's just going by storytelling tradition again. And the amount of lore that can be passed on becomes much more fragmented and small and more archetypical, so that it's more memorable. And so it's like mythology stories dominate, are carried on. And details of history before that are they're just discarded. It's just like, it's such a big story, and like it's like we can't talk about it. It's too difficult. We could just say there was a really big empire there, and now it's gone. And that's it. Then the history of it is lost. Maybe some of that was being talked about. Right, but in a sense it was also probably very depressing. You're like early in the new batch, and you're like living in relatively in squalor, but probably still very hopeful and energetic and feeling very freshly spawned. But like, yeah, we're sitting on the skeletons of an ancient world with like amazing stuff that we don't even know how to begin to build that right now. And to then just think back like, yeah, the world was amazing and it's all lost. And we're not even sure why. It's depressing. So you don't want to depress people. You don't want to make them feel continually like we're just living in squalor on top of a paradise that was lost. It's very depressing. So it then just becomes like, let's not talk about that. Let's focus on the here and now, right? Which is like technically a good advice at any moment, right? But that's probably how it was being dealt with. It's just like, it's the old stuff. Just don't go there. It's so depressing. We gotta develop ourselves now with what we've got. So let's just focus on that. Like, in a way, like we'll get to it someday. But then that never really happens, and they're the governments and all that, they make it all very difficult. And when they're being imprisoned again, psychologically, culturally, spiritually, financially, and so we will just never get to like, okay, maybe now we can do authoritarian. No, we're just not getting to it. Yes, welcome back, Effie, totally. Libraries gone, so people shrink history into fireside myths, fragments in archetypes instead of detail. Just enough so the kids remember a shape of the past. Will empires reduced to bedtime stories? Why, who lives in the ruins? Exactly, exactly. You're totally getting it. Like, this is like what I think about. This is what I'm seeing in my mind when I'm looking back. These are the considerations, a realistic consideration. Oh man, though, what a time it must have been though, in ways where you're basically surrounded, or you're living in ancient cities that you don't even know how or what really happened and who built it exactly and what happened to them, and you're living it, and it's like curious people will just be like, oh, I found another tunnel. Dude, you're not gonna believe what I found in this now. It, like, every place would have been like this mystery, ancient ruin. You never know what you're gonna find, whether you're gonna find like ancient skeletons or some underground temple or ancient technological devices. Dude, it would have been like all the time, everywhere. Must have been his entire underground scene of like robes and crypt dwellers and adventurers that would just like explore the old stuff. in secret and find who knows what. Some of them might have become incredibly rich because of it. Right, and it's all undershadowed. None of it is officially admitted. It's just like, oh, they're going to explore those ruins again. We'll see how far they get this time. All over the place. I mean, everywhere. It's like, oh god, another city? Really? Jesus. Oh, it's gonna take a lot of digging. Okay, you just imagine like the pioneers, and I mean they probably were like horse and cart pioneers. They were there, but when they go, it's not just, oh, with another Indian settlement. No, it's like, oh, another city, another buried city. Let's not settle here. How many times they just go in and just like, whoa, another buried city. Huh. Right? Those details are often, of course, they are logically overlooked in like storytelling about the pioneers. Like they don't tell that part, like all the giant buried cities that they would come across every time. Exactly, let's screw people literally walking through legends they didn't understand. Exactly. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing stuff. And I mean, especially with all the frickin' tunnels, there must have been like a substantive underground scene, like literally an underground scene of people that know about those tunnels and use them as secret trade routes and dealing in artifact shit. That must have been like an entire scene for arguably hundreds of years. Maybe it's still there. It's just like integrated into Secret Service organizations and all that now. If it's still there. Every wagon trail turning in excavations. No, but they didn't have the tools and the manpower and the time and the food reserves to excavate anything. Like that came later when towns like started to thrive. Then people are like, okay, we're gonna explore this damn thing now that we've been hearing about in the last 20 years. And now we're gonna get that. Now we're gonna do it. But not like on the first run bumping into it. Like you're literally trying to find a safe ground which you quickly can build up and like create some kind of food production before everybody dies. Yeah. You don't have time for excavations. You don't have the manpower, you don't have the food resources, you don't have the time. like they might have time to like make primitive maps and make notes like here's another ruin, there's another ruin. That's the best they would have probably done with it at first, to just make notes of where things are, and that's it. Right, hour 43 minutes in. I'm very happy with today's show. It's nice. I hope everybody else out there appreciates it too. Don't forget to Rogan it up if you are. Yeah, right. Wake and bake FE. Yeah, and this is exactly what I want to do with my show. This is it. This type of conversation is what I've always hoped for with the Flat Earth Early Bird show. And thank you for providing it. For providing the other component. Where did you guys learn all this stuff? Figuring it out. Herb Jackson. But I mean, if you want to know more about this specific subject, about like Tartaria, You gotta dig into like a channel like my lunch break. Just exclusively about that subject. Lots and lots of video material, lots of technical research. What has been written about it in official history and scrutinizing that. Start digging into that, and then you'll get where we're at. Because it's a big thing. It's big. And I mean, one of the most amazing things about it is that, like, ancient Tartary had rail systems, like actual railroad systems, with like tunnels through mountains, like literally with rails. And it's ancient, it's all rusted out, but it's there. Like, that was definitely not built in the last few hundred years. No traces that they have any kind of microelectronics. It really isn't. But they would have had electric capability. They would have had they think you get enough welfare? I get just the legal, it's, yeah, I get the minimum, and it's, I'm not like crippled or mentally provably handicapped or medically dependent on some pharmaceutical drug or whatever, so yeah, they think I get enough. My lunch break guy on the Night Owl show? What? I don't think he does interviews. I've never heard them go on another channel and talk. I mean, the guy you hear on my lunch break, he's just the one that reads the script. I mean, it is all very scripted. So, yeah, that's not gonna happen, Doctor. But I don't really need to ask him where he gets his information, because they literally say what their sources are in their videos. You probably didn't pick up on it because you don't watch his videos, because you don't want it. Huh? You don't want it to be real. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna take another 2 minutes.